Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Karyn Bryant here talking with Gegard Mousasi, who is the main event at Bellator 185, taking on Alexander Shlemenko. It is your big debut. But Gegard, it's been a while, so before we get to the fight stuff, just in general, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, Karyn. Thank you.
Life's treating you well?
Yeah, I enjoyed my break, but I'm ready. I trained 3 months for this fight. I'm in shape. And just waiting now.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They talk about you moving to this organization, and I feel like everybody at the beginning was like, oh, well, Gegard will just walk right in and get a title shot over there. Is that something that you expected? Are you sort of surprised that you're not just walking in for the title, or did you want a fight before going for the title? Because it seems like you should be well qualified to just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I was expecting to fight for the belt, but they had promised it to Alessio. So he's fighting next for the belt, and after that it's me.
Yeah.
Of course, I have to beat Shlemenko first, but
yes.
I'm very confident in my abilities to do that.
Nice. Did you and Saki, you guys never fought before, did you?
No, I trained with him 2, 3 times maybe. He came to Holland, so I know a little bit about him. And, he used to fight in UFC, so I know him from there.
So do you think, though, that you'll be fighting Carvalho then, or do you think that you would fight Alessio instead?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it because I have first Shlemenko.
Right.
And the guy is tough. But of course, my eyes are set to win the belt. Yeah. But I'm very confident I will have to be able to get the job done.
Nice. So, yeah, when you look at him, where do you see him to be the most dangerous? Because he certainly looks to be very powerful, right? I mean, he's a powerful fighter, Shlemenko.
Yeah, but I feel I'm superior everywhere.
New organization, same old Gegard. I love it.
No. He's tough. The guy is tough as they come.
Right.
But I think I'm too physically strong, better, faster, technically. Everywhere the fight goes, I feel I'm the better guy. So it's going to be difficult for him to win just by being tough. Because that's what he is. He comes to fight, but just by being tough, he's not able to win. And of course, he's gonna try to do this spinning back kicks and stuff like that. But I know. I'm a veteran. I feel like an old guy, but I know what's coming, and I train for it. So,
well,
I'm not gonna get surprised.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that. You've seen. I mean, listen. The first time you fought Uriah, it didn't go your way, but the second time it certainly did. We know the first time you fought Uriah anyway, the first round was all yours. You took him down and you were able to control it. So is that kind of the same approach that you should have with Shlemenko?
Well, he's a southpaw. It's a little bit more difficult. The range is a little bit different for the takedown. So I don't know. If it comes, it comes. Yeah. I definitely will. If I can get a takedown, I will take it.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Smart fighter.
Yeah.
So
we have a game plan.
Yeah. Okay. So you took some time off. So has there been anything different about training for this camp? Is there more or less media obligations on you? Is there more, sort of drawing on you for things that you need to do outside of just training?
Well, life is good. All I can say is I don't have any headaches. Life is a lot easier now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm happy, and what can I say? I'm a happy guy.
Good. Well, so if there's no headaches, that means you're single right now, then too, huh?
Yeah, but not just that. I mean, with the organization, it's just more. Everything is more comfortable.
Good.
More comfortable.
Well, I love to give you a hard time about the girls pulling the focus away from you. But, it's funny because with Scott Coker, okay, so obviously you guys go back. You and Scott work together at Strikeforce. So one day I was at work on UFC Tonight or something, and a mutual friend of ours had come in, and he ended up calling Scott. So I was like, oh, let me get on the phone with Scott. So I said, hey, Scott, how's it going? Good to see you. And good to talk to you. And literally the thing I said to him, I said, thank you so much for taking care of Gegard. Like, thank you so much for giving him that great deal. And just, I'm really happy because I know Gegard is happy. And, just thank you for that. So he's like, oh my God, don't even worry. He said, we've been trying to get him for years. He said, I've been trying to pull him back for years. So what is the deal? How long has Coker been trying to draw you away?
Well, I signed for a six fight deal. I think Bellator is doing great now.
Yep.
It's coming. It's coming.
You're doing good stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think all the fighters that are coming to Bellator, that's just star power.
Yeah.
And that's what Bellator is doing. They get everyone who has a name. And once names comes, and let's say certain fighters that are not well known, if they fight, let's say, some famous guy, but let's say if they fight Chael Sonnen and they beat Chael Sonnen in a very good fashion, they get to make a name for themselves. So that's big names coming to Bellator. So it's I think within 2-3 years it's gonna be big. It's already getting bigger, but it's going very well. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I like. I hopefully will see Rory MacDonald nice and active. You know, he's such a good fighter, and he's somebody that I like to watch. You know, the thing with Chael, the last bit with them, you know, and it wasn't.
No, I was just making it.
But I know what you mean, that you have names there that people, you can grow new talent with these. Right.
Yeah, and so my goal is first Shlemenko, then Belt, and then Rory.
Yeah.
And it's a bad idea for Rory to come up because, well,
that's
but you will find out soon.
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering, because you guys are two of the biggest names there. Obviously, Benson Henderson is somebody that was in the UFC and went over there. He's a much lighter weight class, and he's actually had a tough time over in Bellator. It wasn't like he went over there and just started cleaning up. It hasn't been easy for him. The talent is certainly there. But yeah, Rory, you believe that you guys could end up facing each other, huh?
Yeah, he wants to move up, so, but we have to win our fights first, and I think that's a great fight.
I would love that. I would love that fight. Yeah. You know, there is that idea, though, that especially since you are so highly regarded, and while you were still in the UFC, you were a name that was, up for title shots, and you were in that conversation. So I feel like some people might think on the roster, some of the Bellator fighters, have they been cool to you? Because the idea, it sort of looks like on paper that you came over here and you're fighting Shlemenko now, but you're going to get a title shot. Like Gegard might get special treatment that some of the other fighters have been there for a longer time haven't gotten. So have you gotten any pushback from other fighters on the roster?
No, I'm not on social media. Well, I trained last time. I forgot the 77 kilo. Champion was in Holland. What was his name? He's fighting Rory MacDonald. I forgot. Lima. I'm sorry.
Okay, right. Diego,
so, I can get along with everybody. And
Oh, sorry, Doug Lima. Diego's his brother. Douglas Lima. Right.
Lima. Yeah, Douglas Lima, and we trained, and I'm good. We're fighters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter for me.
Cool. And so and it's funny because you just mentioned social media. Were you only on it before because it was sort of more of a job requirement for the UFC, and now that you aren't really sort of asked to do it, that you don't do it?
But I just sometimes post pictures on Instagram. That's all I do.
Right.
But I post maybe once in 2-3 weeks, once in a month.
Right.
Yeah.
But you weren't supposed to just fall off the planet, Gegard. I mean, I'm sure Bellator would love for you to be more vocal and more active because you are such a recognizable name. I'm sure they were kind of hoping that you would do a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I have media stuff, but I have to go first to New York, and after that I go to Connecticut. So I have media obligations. My manager does his part, but I'm not just a social media guy.
Yeah.
There's too much.
Yeah, no, we've seen sometimes it turns weird.
Yeah.
But I like the pictures that you share, you and Bert, the stuff that you guys are sharing in the gym. It does look like you're working hard. Was there anybody that you brought over, specifically to prepare for this fight that mimics Shlemenko, or you just feel like the guys that you have around you are already good enough to give you those looks?
Well, I have a lot of guys coming in. Spanish from Douglas Lima was from Germany. A lot of guys came to train. Sometimes we're 30, 40 guys training. 35 last time I counted. So that's how many sparring partners sometimes I have on a day.
Good.
And sometimes it's just training with 2-3 guys. It doesn't matter. I try to fight a lot of guys so I can adjust. Every round I get a new guy and I adjust to that. And of course, when I work with let's say 3-4 guys, they try to mimic Shlemenko. Then it's more Pacific. But you know, nothing that I cannot handle. I feel like yeah. I think he will see the weight, not weight, but the power difference. He's not the real middleweight, and yeah.
Well, and obviously we know that you fought at 205 before, so obviously you can hang. But so how is that going for you? You know, a lot of time people get older, they talk about the weight cuts get harder and harder for them, and so they end up going up in weight. We know you already been at 205, but is that something that, you know, obviously you have some good prospects ahead of you at 85 if you could fight Rory and stuff like that. But is it different for you now to make the weight?
Well, this time I have a little bit more difficulties because I had a long layoff and it was more routine. Last year I had 4 fights. I was going. It was very easy. This time I had a long break.
You got fat and happy.
Myself. Yeah, I enjoyed myself, and you know, this time it's a little bit harder. I don't know. The body doesn't lose the weight that easy, but I am stronger.
Yeah.
I feel I'm stronger than the last time. So
really,
it's a trouble for my opponent.
I guess so. Well, now is it the farming? Because you hear about people being farm strong. So I know we've seen the pictures of you with the tractor driving around mowing your lawn. So maybe don't bring as many beers. But you know, a lot of time when they talk about people working farms, they're throwing hay around. They're doing a lot of work that builds a different kind of strength than you can get in the gym.
Well, I don't know. The only time I felt guys stronger than me was the second fight I fought Jacare. He was not normal strong. And one time King Mo, later on he caught by steroids. So if no one does steroids, physically I'm always felt superior. If it's a clean, if it's clean, no problem. I never felt anyone physically stronger than me. At least if they're natural. Right.
And you asked for Shlemenko to be tested, right? So what is the deal with Bellator and the testing? Because we know before when you were in the UFC, you had to go through USADA. But in this instance, you requested that Shlemenko get tested, right? So how did that whole process work?
Well, he got tested and I got tested. It's the guy, he can say whatever he likes. But he been cut for 50 times the steroids amount, you know, the testosterone amount against Belvin Manov. That's not, I took accidentally a pill, I didn't know what it was. Right. So the guy has been cheating, simple as that. Yeah. So he shouldn't be cry about it. He should be man up and say, I did it. But this time he's clean, so I see him not go very long.
Okay. So now then, are you know, I know that you enjoyed that time off and having the break, and I know you were kind of fed up with certain things with the UFC. So do you even, do you watch the fights in the UFC anymore? I mean, you were never like a huge, oh my God, I got to watch every single fight, but are you still keeping track of everything?
Well, I saw Demetrius Johnson. Great, yeah.
That was amazing, right?
That was a great submission. You know, I think he made the division now by beating all these guys. Yeah. He's building up the division just by himself. So that's great. I saw Kevin Lee versus Ferguson. Yep. Also good fight. It was. And I don't know, Verdum, I just saw the finish. Yep. Yeah. And yeah.
Are you going to watch?
I still watch the fights.
Good. Okay. Are you going to watch Bisping and Georges St-Pierre?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That's a fun fight.
It is a fun fight. Who do you like in that one?
I like both guys, but if I have to give someone the edge, I would say GSP is the favorite. GSP.
I don't know. I think Michael is going to win personally, but I don't know.
I think the IQ difference in I think people forget what GSP did back then. He was really good, but it's just the question is he the same guy 6 years ago? I think 6 years ago when he was at his best. Right. Is he the same guy? That's a question you never know. We will find out soon.
Yeah, he could. I mean, the thing about it is he was already amazing. He could be incredible now with that time off, and who knows what different training he's done. I just know, Michael obviously is clearly going to have a size advantage. Michael never slows down. He's very high volume. You know what I mean? You got to catch him to take him down, which he could. I don't know. I just feel like Michael with the momentum, and although he's been off for a little while, I don't know. I figured it'll be a good fight, though. It will be a good fight.
But I would go for GSP.
But George is amazing. I mean, obviously.
I like both guys. I don't want to pick sides, but I think it's a good fight. Now I'm not fighting for the belt. I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna enjoy the fight.
Nice. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Although I did like Robert Whittaker's win over Yoel Romero. I don't know if you watched it. That was a good fight. You know,
I didn't see the fight. But he did great.
Yeah, no, he did. He did really great. I was just now I just blanked. I was just about to ask you about another fight, and now I totally blanked on which one I was going to ask you about. So that's okay. I'll just move on. So you're going to come over to the States. You said you have to do a bunch of PR and stuff like that. Are you going to stay here? I know who I was going to. Okay, well, yeah, let me ask you about the other fight. Now I remember. The reason I had texted you for when Saki was making his debut. And I asked you about him, and you said he was dangerous and he could hurt some people. Everybody but you, obviously. Were you able to watch his debut? It was fun. I mean, he had a fun fight, and they just gave him Khalil Rountree. They gave him another person who will stand right there in front of him, who won't try to take him down. They gave him an awesome opponent. Like, it's going to be a really fun fight.
Yeah. He needs opponents like that to build up.
Yeah.
If they just put him against a wrestler, he will just probably lose. But if they build him up, give him chance to grow.
Right.
You know, he puts on good fights. He did well.
Yeah.
He did really. It was a good fight. I think people are talking about it, and he's fighting December again.
Yeah.
So, he always brings it. It's always a fun fight to watch.
Yeah, he's fighting.
I think that to learn a whole different sport in a couple of years is not.
Right.
You know, me going into boxing or whatever, I'm not going to be the best.
Right.
I can beat some boxers, but that's just the reality.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, because it is obviously a big transition, and he had some moments in his first fight where he could have gone to the ground, and I was like, well, he's not gonna. Like, you know what I mean? It just didn't seem. So it seems like that would just be a really hard transition to make. To and you would need a lot of time to learn the ground game.
Yeah, I think, but he has a good team around him.
Yeah.
I think, but like I said, if the guys are more the stand-up guys, he has a good chance of winning and beating those guys.
Yeah. Well, Khalil is very powerful himself, but he doesn't want to go to the ground, so it's going to be really, really, really fun.
Is the opponent the wrestler?
No, Khalil is a stand-up guy. So Khalil is very, very powerful. He was on The Ultimate Fighter, and he came in second on The Ultimate Fighter. He's very, very powerful, but the way he lost The Ultimate Fighter was basically Andrew Sanchez just took him down and wrestled him the whole time, and Khalil doesn't really have a great ground game. But he's a striker, and he's powerful, and he's explosive, and he's a big dude. So it's like they gave the crowd, a crowd pleasing fight.
That's a great fight, I think.
Yeah. For sure. So my other question that I was asking, you'll come over here, you'll do some PR and stuff. Will they have you, will you stay here in the States for a little bit, or are you going to go right back home? What do you think?
Well, I'm coming to New York,
Yeah.
drive to Connecticut, drive back to New York, stay 2 days longer, and I go back.
Nice. Okay. All right. But now have you bought more apartment buildings? How's the rest of the empire coming along out there?
Well, the real estate is getting expensive, so we didn't buy anything.
No?
No, but my brother is building a house next to mine, so he's gonna move in the farm with us.
Nice. Nice.
And the family is getting bigger.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's the Mousasi compound, right? Because you said you have your sister there and your mom and everybody all together.
Yeah, everyone is here, and then sometimes they go to their house or they stay.
Right.
Nice. It's nice.
Nice. Well, I'm glad we were able to catch up. I know the time difference is always really difficult, but I appreciate you taking the time. Looks like you maybe got a good workout in tonight, or were you at the club? What were you?
No. Just last week, relaxed trainings.
Yeah.
I have a couple of days that I'm gonna push a little bit, but
right.
Yeah, I'm done actually with the hard training. It's just weight, then a load is off my shoulders, and then the fight.
Right.
And then I'm gonna get boogie wickedness, boogie, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll be watching Always a fan, no matter where you're fighting. So you are the main event against Alexander Shlemenko, Bellator 185. That is October 20th. Wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you, Karyn.
Thanks,
Thank you very much.
Gegard.
Bye-bye.
Bye.